How do 1 and 0 create everything? Hello, everyone. I'm Thomas, and welcome to my channel. It's an educational channel. I mostly do videos, and I've got some books and articles, and I've taught some courses on these relatively esoteric subjects mostly, but they're quite relevant. So, one of the main subjects that I do is the Tree of Life. And this is the model here that you see. It's also called the Kabbalah, Hebrew Kabbalah. The Tree of Life is the ancient Egyptian version of that. And my version is a combination of what's in my head and also the Osero Set Society got me interested in it in the first place. That's mostly kind of a West Indian derivation of the ancient Egyptian. But anyway, this is 10 different circles or spheres, numbered 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then there's also an abyss right here called the abyss, and then a 0 above the tree. So you have a total of 12 different categories that attempt to describe our faculties of consciousness. And you can apply this to anything, and it will determine the faculties of consciousness. Even things that are not conscious can be figured out here with the not conscious. Basically is what we're saying. Is everything is conscious, or consciousness, and can be determined with this tree. So that's what I've done, is I've taken a little tree in miniature and stuck it on each one of the spheres. So for pedagogical purposes, I've broken down each one of the spheres into 12 different components. So that gives me a total of 144 different faculties or fractal faculties, which I equate to the stages of life. Stages of life, though, are not chronological, they're dramatic stages. So there's 144 separate little dramas that are occurring in this universe that we negotiate as we walk the path and we move up and higher into, away from the animal consciousness and toward the divine consciousness. So that's kind of where we're at. If you'd like to get a free copy of my list, annotated list of the 144 fractal faculties, all you have to do is click the button, click the link below in the description, and I'll send one out to you for free. And that way you'll be able to have something to work with as you kind of learn more about the tree from all the different videos. I'm going to be rolling out all 144 of these in videos. I think I've done about 25 so far, so I got a long way to go. And so if you get that guide of the list for free, it will help you immeasurably in learning this quickly. This is a gem, and it's something that really would help people if they learned it. But there is a learning curve to it, and it's a little bit difficult. Again, I've said this before, but it's not as difficult as your high school chemistry class. It's easier than that, but it does require a little bit of effort to assimilate this knowledge. It's not even really knowledge; it's just a framework that that you can use, and it's not something that is dogmatic. It's something that's very flexible and something that you can put your own content into it, of your own life and your own experience into it, so you can personalize it for yourself. Okay, now just to give you the quick skinny on each one of the faculties. This here is our animal consciousness, survival instinct. This one is our domestic consciousness. This is 10. 9 is our domestic consciousness. This is what we're getting as we're growing up. We are highly receptive to our parents or whoever's raising us, and we learn to memorize their actions and imitate them. Here, we learn to basically memorize and imitate the belief systems of the experts that are out in the public sphere. So this is like the real world, the conventional wisdom, and this is the extent to which we buy into it. The 7th sphere is really for people who are not really buying into this, and they go over here as artists and inventors and try to come up with other ways of improving what's going on here. Maybe providing constructive criticism and or new inventions to help with that, what's going on here. Now, this is also a wedge, the inspiration. This is also our pleasure principle, inspiration, a creative spark that allows us to elevate and move up into the higher parts of the tree. Number 6 is the first one, which is really the center. You can see it's connected with all of the other spheres, directly connected with the higher spheres, and it is our free will faculty. At the center, you can think of it as if it's a map, this is where there would be an arrow or a dot, and it would say, you are here. Okay, this is where we are, but unfortunately, our free will faculty is our ability to pay attention and to make decisions. And unfortunately here, normally we are paying attention to the lower aspects of the tree, 9, 10, and 8, 9, and 10 mainly. And so what we need to do is turn ourselves around so that we're pointing and paying attention in the other direction toward the higher aspects and even the divine aspects within us. So the 5th sphere is our sense of justice, and this is our source of the law and order that creates that justice. So this is the articulation of the natural law, not the cop's law or the federal law or the expert's law, but this is the natural law. How do, one distinction that you can have is that the natural law is an observation, whereas the consensus law is a commandment. So these are commandments. They tell you how things are, but the natural law is an observation. You observe how things are, and then you can infer how they work if you observe closely enough. And in general, you probably want to use your whole culture and your whole history to help you observe, and you can piggyback on all of those people in the past who have also observed, and then you can make generalizations about how the natural law works. This is often done in what they call cosmology. Okay, so 4 and 5 are on the same level, but they're kind of alternate right brain, left brain views, or left brain, right brain views. And this is also our universal characteristics, universal law, universal language, universal love. The abyss here is about our psychic powers. This is our ability to tune into and recognize omens, coincidences, synchronicities, and these are things that this is a language, a universal language that we tune into. It's telling us there's really charged objects that are telling us that this is something important to be paying attention to. And to the extent that we can recognize that, that's our psychic receptivity. And then to the extent that we can act upon it is our psychic heat. Those are two different things. To being able to recognize it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to do anything about it. So it requires another element of courage or heat in order to actually do something about the things that you recognize. Okay, 3, 2, and 1 are our divine triangle. These are our divine faculties within. This is our omnipotence, all-powerful, omniscience, all-knowing, and omnipresence, all present, all at once, eternally. We tap into this primarily through sound synchronization techniques, mantra, for example, and then we tap into this through silence in the mind to allow the deeper mind to come to our consciousness, and it gives us solutions to problems through visuals, the visual side of the mind. Now, this is also that's really omniscience is wisdom. So wisdom is the ability to solve problems, and here we can tap into that through the silence in the mind. If we can't really get to the silence of the mind, then we're dealing with what you call divination or an oracle. So we have to find an external source like an oracle in order to tell us that predicts the future. But we can do this with our own development if we work on it. And then the first sphere is omnipresence, all present, all at once. It's always inside of us at our deepest center, at everything's deepest center is the one. So this is the first ether that underlies everything. And then the zero sphere is basically the zeroth ether that underlies even that. And the zero is like above the tree. It's actually part of the creator, but it's the part that the creator reserves for itself. So the zero is not even in the universe. It's a mystery, but it is part of the creator. So we have an indirect connection with that. Now, we will be dealing with that today because the question is, how do 1 and 0 create everything? And this is number 134, which actually adds up to, it's in the zero sphere, and it's the first fractal within the zero sphere. So it's a combination of mainly the zero sphere and then a combination of the first fractal within the zero sphere. And this is the reciprocal twin of the one that I believe I did yesterday, which is the number 132. And number 132 was the zero fractal of the first sphere. So this is the first fractal of the zero sphere. And it's called divisible duality. Whereas number 132 was called invisible duality. So this is divisible duality. Number 134, x to the 0 power equals 1. The natural log of 1 equals 0. 0 makes things move, but cannot itself be moved, creating the universe of motion. There is 0 and there is 1. 0 is the part of the creator that the creator reserves for itself, a mystery to us. We only perceive, we only believe in the surface of the creator. That inner God particle within us is just the surface of the creator. The rest, 0, are the creator's other aspects we are not privy to. A mystery, the emotional state, the intention, the origin of the methods of the creator. The 0 sphere is the emotional state of the first sphere, the creator's private life. The 0 part of the creator is a total mystery. The creator has 0 others. 0 awareness, 0 experience, 0 emotions. 1 is the creator we know of. 0 is the creator we don't know of. Start with 0, the 0 power equals 1. X to the 0 power equals 1, including 0 to the 0. Unity, nothing, can be inducted from it, from 1, because it is all that can be. It cannot be added to. But can it be divided by 0? Divisible duality, 0 and infinity. 1 divided by 0 is infinity. Once we have 1, we can divide by 0 to get infinity. Divisible duality. At absolute 0 temperature, the volume equals 1. In absolute silence, through the sound barrier, we have unity. 0 and infinity and 1. 1 is the unifying point that eventually resolves all reciprocals. From 1 to infinity, pairs of inverses, pairs of opposites merge into 1. Lowering the power to 0 causes equilibrium, where everything is 1. 0 is the power of the Creator, so that if we tune into 0, we can arrive at the Creator. Then we can divide by 0 to get infinity. Divisible duality. 0 and infinity leads to a multiverse, with 1 in the center. There is a whole universe between 1 and 0, in the same way there is a whole universe between 1 and infinity. Then that creates the idea of the time region and the space region within the 1, while the time-space region and space-time regions are between 1 and infinity. Transcend animal, transcend control, instinct, emotions. When the divine divides itself by itself. Divisible duality. Okay, that is the stage number 134, divisible duality, the zero fractal, the first fractal of the 0 sphere. And, you know, that is somewhat mysterious, and a lot of that is simple math, but a lot of it is also from the reciprocal system of theory from Dewey B. Larson, and we'll be getting into that as we go on. But just keep in mind that especially these higher fractals on the tree are, you know, kind of just sketches, and they're going to be needed to be fleshed out as we move on. So that's kind of what these videos are for, is to flesh out, to sketch out the you know, the framework of these different 144 fractal faculties, and then to resolve and put them, flesh them out more as we go on to maybe the second draft and the third draft and so on of all these different fractal faculties. Click the like, share, and subscribe buttons below if you got all this way into this video, and also click the link if you'd like that free copy of the 144 Fractal Faculties Annotated. And stay tuned for future videos, and keep on trucking. Have a beautiful day.